The Innovators is brought to you by the Jamaica Yellow Pages. What will you discover today? Columbus Business Solutions, the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, The Gleaner, Future Services International, and Silver Star Motors. Meet the Innovators, Yannick Page and Gary Matalin. Over the next several weeks, they'll be helping aspiring and struggling entrepreneurs to make more money. Yannick Page launched her first business at age 17 and knows how to start a business on a shoestring budget. She's a certified trainer in entrepreneurship and workforce innovation and is also the founder of the award-winning company, Future Services International. Gary Matalin is the co-founder and director of New Stone Limited. This successful entrepreneur is also the co-founder of KLE Group, owners and operators of Fiction Lounge and Usain Bolt's Tracks and Records.
So Yannick, tell me about our case today.
Alright, so today we have Diahann Green, and she is an aspiring writer. She wants to publish her own book. She's big on the self-help, the motivational industries. So let's take a look and see how we can help.
Sure.
My name is Diahann Green. I'm an author, and the name of my book is Turn That Foolish Idea into Dollars and Cents. I was sexually molested and attempted suicide at age 16 and pretty much spent all of my childhood feeling as if you're not here, nobody will miss you, so it don't matter because your space that you occupy is not that important. There were moments of happiness, but I guess because of all of that I went through and I internalized it a lot, it made being a child extremely difficult for me.
They don't know, and I said they don't know.
I just kind of felt like I don't want to have to keep going through this over and over. It was difficult because it's not like my mom had the money. My book currently says Turn That Foolish Idea into Dollars and Cents, and that book really came out of my journey. I remember when I first thought that, I want to stop working for other people because I think I'm talented enough to go out there and become a brand of my own. So I really wrote the book chronicling that journey because I know there are a number of persons who are scared to even utter what their ideas are, because I feel people are going to say, "Lord, that sounds foolish," but how do you make sense out of a foolish idea and turn it into a venture that gives you a return on it financially? And that's what the book is about.
Oh.
I'm excited because this is an opportunity that I've always been waiting for to get my book out there. I imagine myself being a best-selling author, and I am a little bit nervous because I know in terms of the funding to publish the book, I don't have that. So I am taking my teaching outside of the classroom where I can expand my reach and earn some money from it as well.
You want to write a book and you have a whole lot of dreams. Tell us what your vision is really and what's the specific business, because it's not that clear to us specifically what you want to do.
I would like to get my book published. It's a book about how to turn your ideas into a worthwhile business venture. How do you take it from imagination to pen and paper where it actually become organized and you can actually use it to start making money from it and make it into a viable business? I'm very good at explaining what I want to say. I'm very good at telling a story. And stories don't have to be about fantasies. I'm very good at telling a story about anything that's real. And I find from my classroom experience when I speak, people listen because I only speak from the heart. So that is what I want to come across in the book, so that other aspiring entrepreneurs will realize that they do have a voice and there is a method or a pattern that they can employ that will allow them to move their ideas.
Interesting. So if you were, using your book that you want to write to describe to yourself, how do you make money doing what you want to do?
All right, you would first begin with think of even the most simple idea that you might have. Take, for instance, a cup you have in front of you. Is there something more that you'd want to get from that cup? So I want people to know that no matter how simple your idea is, no matter how foolish it seems, it's actually worth looking into, and with the right organization and pitching it to the right persons who are innovative, you could actually use it as a springboard for something else or expand it into a worthwhile business venture.
Have you done any research to validate the market?
I've done some research in that it's probably more used in Google Trends just to find out how many persons are actually interested in getting information on how to start a business, where to go for starting a business. But one of the things I do know from working with the parents that I have worked with through my PTA meetings is that the ordinary man on the road actually needs somebody who can help him take his ideas from just something that runs around in his head to something that makes sense.
No offense to you, Diahann, but what qualifies you to be an expert in this subject matter? So what makes you an expert in telling people how to turn an idea into a business?
My life story. I am a living example of what the book details. People might say I don't have the qualification, and I don't, so I wouldn't really object to that, but I know what I do have is the experience.
Still to come on the Innovators.
How are you financed up to this point? Because you don't seem to have any other revenue streams.
No salary advances.
I don't understand.
You know, as an entrepreneur, it's great to think big, but at the same time, that's the same problem that can end up holding you back. What you need to do sometimes is identify the low-hanging fruits. You need to look for the simple things that can give you quick success and that can then roll into bigger things. A lot of times, success breeds success. So just finding those low-hanging fruits, getting some successes under your belt, will breed a lot better things going forward.
Having a good heart and being able to execute combines traits that will allow for the person to really realize the goals. Diahann will achieve what she sets her mind to achieve, no doubt about it.
You have actually written books in the past.
I have written books in the past, not been published, just waiting for the big moment when I become a best-selling author, yes.
Okay, but you have to do more than just wait, and I'm assuming that's why you're here. So
that is why I'm here now.
Yes. So what have you done in terms of, looking at self-publishing? I mean, that's a big thing now. People are actually publishing their own books. I mean, have you looked at that at all?
Yes, I have. I have a business coach that I'm working with, and she's actually helping me to get something on Amazon, to get an ebook done as well as a spin-off from the book. So I'm looking at other tangible ways that I can expand the book, not from paperback version to making sure that it's accessible.
Have you done any financial projections at all?
Just me doing something as a background, yes, but nothing where I would have gotten the kind of guidance that says, yes, this makes sense, because it's not an industry that I'm very familiar with. So I'm just doing something based off what I would say happening around me.
How are you financed up to this point? How do you survive? How do you operate? Because you don't seem to have any other revenue streams.
No salary advances.
I don't understand.
Whatever it is that I've been doing so far, I take a salary advance, do what I need to do, pay for what I need to pay for. So it's very limited, because then but that is what I do in order to move from one step to the next in terms of just trying to do the basic groundwork for the book.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of work to do. And I'm going to ask you for some time for Gary and I to have a discussion and to see how best we can help you advance your vision. So we'll call you back in a little while.
I have a huge problem with this assignment on a number of different fronts.
Yeah.
The first things first, I don't even understand her business model.
Yeah.
I don't get it. She has no idea when revenue is going to kick in. She has no idea what the revenue is going to be.
Yeah.
She doesn't know where it's coming from. I'm just baffled. Like, I don't even understand where to go from there.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit too airy-fairy. It's a little bit too up in the clouds. I really haven't found anything that says to me, this is exactly how I'm going to make money. As you say, no business model defined. And no. It's like I'm in love with my own idea, I'm in love with my dream, and I don't even care if it's gonna make money. And we have to stop her in our tracks. We have to stop her in our tracks. So Gary and I had a long talk, and we have a few concerns. But before I get into that, let me just say this. I don't want to discourage you from your dream, because John Grisham, who is this fantastic writer and author, it took him many, many tries before he was able to get his first book published. But at the same time, you are focusing on self-help. You are specific in the types of information that you're trying to get across to people. And what you're trying to do is to say to them, this is how you take an idea from there and bring it to something. It requires skill. And the first question that people are going to ask is, what is her success? Where are her successes? What has she done? What idea has she brought to fruition? And quite frankly, you don't have that.
In addition to that, certainly for any kind of literature, credibility of the author is going to be key. So, carrying on from what Yannick was saying, it's going to be critical that you not only write a good book, but you have the substance to back it. Separate and apart from that, you need to be a little bit more certain about what you're trying to achieve in terms of your targets. What are your revenue targets? What is your cost build-up on the books?
Dan, we don't want you to continue down the road that we know is going to end up nowhere. So here's the good news. The good news is you have a resource that you've not tapped into. You're a great teacher. Why haven't you looked at producing material for your students? That should be a target market. I mean, students need help in so many areas, and you've been fantastic in motivating them and encouraging them to do that. Why don't you try and channel this energy into a publication for them? I think that would be an excellent strategy for you, and I think you have a ready market, and that's where you have your expertise, and that's where you should be looking.
Good luck on your assignments, and we look forward to seeing you back here again soon.
It's now time for the assignments.
Hi Diane, thanks so much for meeting me.
Thank you very much for having me.
My name is Corinne Lafont, and I'm an online book marketing specialist. Tell me a bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Diahann Green. I'm an author. The title of my book that I'll be publishing is Little Feet, Big Shoes. It's really a book about children from the Bible who were used to make a big difference in the life of others. When I met Yannick and Gary in the boardroom, and they said to me that they don't think I should have written the book about the business ideas, I took the advice and I went back home and I pulled out my book that I had, my children's storybook, and I decided that this was definitely something I had the authority to write, the experience. And I decided that this is the book that I'll be running with.
What are your plans? What do you see the book doing in the next 5 years or so?
All right, one of the plans that I do have for it is that, especially because of the parent-driven activity, what it does is to allow a conversation to continue long after the pages of the book has been closed. And I'm hoping that I could do it online, I guess.
Yeah.
Also be able to do like a little animated 2-minute clip of it that drives home one of the stories and its value.
How would you define your target audience to be?
My target audience would be the child anywhere between 0 to, I would say, about 10 years old.
Okay, you mentioned animation and going online. I think those are two good approaches, and it's something that I encourage. One of the things that I want you to consider is having your book as well in terms of audio. Supplement that with the written traditional form, so they can be listening and doing it, as well as on a CD. So you can multi-purpose. That's what we call repurposing your content. Taking the same content and looking at different ways in which you can earn a revenue. And that is always a concern for all authors. How can I earn a revenue? So you have it in the written form, you have it on a CD, you have it in an audio form. And you can even pull out of that other byproducts such as bags, all sorts of different things you can come about as a result of having your own characters in the children's book. You can come out with a cartoon, you can come out with an animation show that educates children. So that is another angle. So if you're looking about making money, you're talking about a big business, you're talking about an industry that you're going to be entering into that can take you beyond.
Coming up on The Innovators.
Hold on there. You got one of the country's leading bookstores to agree to take your book.
Who could forget David Levi?
September morning when we were about to start, we realized that, hey, we cannot start school without a kitchen. But we didn't have any money to buy a stove. So we took the stove from home, and the fridge, and the plates, and the pots. We took the fans from out of the bedroom, even the mop. In the afternoons, we have to pack up at the fans and take them home, use them at nights, and bring them back in the morning. So that is how we did it from time. That is how we survived.
The question is, was he able to keep his school open?
Well, we are still here. As you can see, we actually acquired a location that is the Taino Museum in White Mart. But we met with some bureaucracy, which we are actually working out. But we are still here, and we are holding our own. My wife was a pillar of strength in all of this. When she had baby, she came back. And as I said, we got no loans, we got no grants, we got no help, we got no favors. What we did was hard work, putting things together, sacrifice, being wise, run a business, stop using our heart, and run a business. And that is what cleared our debt, cleared our backlog, and we are actually being optimistic about even next week, honestly.
From Sangster's perspectives, we not just look on the content, we try to assist local producers of material with an overall package. So when we're looking at material, we look at content that is age appropriate, we look at the standard of how it's produced, and we point our persons to comparable material for them to look for themselves and understand what it is that they're going to produce and how they're going to produce it. In addition, we have a wholesale supplier. So we provide other resellers across the island with material. So that is another avenue for you to get your material beyond Kingston and St. Andrew. In addition to being able to assist with distribution, we at Sangsters also assist authors and publishers with in-store promotions. So we can set up in-store events like book signings or book readings. Yes. And we also have kids clubs. So there are different avenues that we can explore.
I am even more excited than when I just came in because what I found now is that I actually end up with Sangsters being a one-stop shop where everything that I need to take it from just being a rough draft as it is right now, then my possibilities for publication are endless.
So I guess that means I'll be seeing a draft on my desk next week?
Yes, definitely. After meeting with Michelle and hearing about joining the Book Association, hearing about the fact that even the very first draft, they are willing to look at and to give me guidance. And then I went into Dreamland when she spoke about Inno's book signing and opening. So I am totally excited. Yannick and Gary, I'm very glad I listened to you. And I'm just looking forward to where I go next with the book. And I'm very excited about it.
It's now time to return to the boardroom and update the innovators.
Hello, Diahann.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm very good.
Welcome back. Have a seat.
Thanks.
So, it's been a while since we saw you last, but when we did see you last, we had given you a lot of different pointers. We sent you out on a number of different things to do, some assignments. So, tell us how it's been going.
Okay, it has been going really great. It has been a really incredible journey. The assignments were great. My first stop was at Sangsters with Michelle, and that went absolutely well. They're interested in publishing the book for me.
Hold on there. You got one of the country's leading bookstores to agree to take your book.
To take the book.
That's awesome. That's just amazing. I am so impressed.
Yes. And then I had some little perks that came along the way. I'm now a freelance writer for Yahoo Contributor Network. And I do very well with Yahoo answers as well. I've gotten quite a number of best answers. So once I get a best answer, then I gain points because it means the askers realize that I have value in the content that I'm offering. So I try to upload that to my Facebook page so that other persons will enjoy the benefit of those discussions as well. And my blog is going to be out shortly. So I'm doing well, and it has been great.
You can get it if you really want.
Diahann is a great person with a great attitude and no doubt has a lot of talent. My issue with creative people and creative industries is that sometimes people get caught up in their craft and they're not really looking at it as a business. If it's a business that she wants to run, she needs to figure out how to monetize it. And she needs to be more focused on how she's going to make money out of it. Not everything she does has to make money. Some of it can be done to build a brand. Some of it can be done to help market her products. But at the end of the day, all has to be coming back to the common place, that is to make money.
I think the big lesson here is that you don't need a lot of money to make money. There is this misconception that you have to have a whole ton. You can bootstrap a business, do it from the ground up, and you don't need a brick and mortar store. You can actually get companies to distribute your things for you. So I think that's the big lesson, that even in this environment, there are opportunities, you can make money, and she's working with Yahoo now. I mean, so many different opportunities. I'm excited for her, looking forward to the future.
Little feet, big shoes, and that's really my story. Small feet filling a big shoes for a big dream. Keep your dreams alive, and Innovators is about regular people like you and I who have an opportunity to make our dreams come true.
The boardroom table and chairs were provided by the Corporate Interiors International Limited. We sell solutions, not just furniture. Gary's wardrobe was provided by Max Brown Limited. Next time on The Innovators.
He needs a lot of help because he doesn't have any plan, it seems to me. And really, I think he's just an installer. And what he hasn't done is move from doing a little thing on the side to actually creating a business.
For further information on any of our assignments, please visit us at facebook.com/innovatorstv or email us at innovatorstv@gmail.com. The Innovators was brought to you by the Jamaica Yellow Pages. What will you discover today? Columbus Business Solutions, the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, The Gleaner, Future Services International, and Silver Star Motors.